Hi, I'm Veronica from Earth Mother Apothecary. Welcome back. In our last video, I was talking to you about how I really feel like I need to start bringing the spiritual aspect back into this page, that I'd kind of neglected it a little bit here, and that I felt it was really important to start bringing that back so that I could be my true self. And really, I just feel like it's going to be very useful to a lot of people, because spirituality is something that I think the world needs more of right now. We need a lot more of that. So this is a big part of my life. My spirituality is involved in every aspect of my life. And as I said last time, I've been kind of removing it from this page a little bit, censoring it a little bit over the past year or two. And I decided, it's really time. I'm doing a disservice to you by doing that. So I've decided to go full on, and we're still going to have all my herb stuff and all the energetic healing and that kind of thing, as always, because that's a part of who I am. But the spiritual aspect is here, and it's here to stay. And so that being said, let's jump into today. Today we're talking about the full moon and things that people might do during the full moon. This Sunday, October 13th, at 5:08 p.m. Eastern Time, the moon goes full. And so a lot of people like to do like a full moon ritual or some kind of working to signify that the moon is full and that it's at its peak of power, and they want to take advantage of that. So this particular moon, this 13th of October, the moon is in Aries. The full moon is in Aries, which means we're looking at new beginnings. We're looking at working on matters of ourself. So this might be, we have some things that need some self-improvement, things that might be coming up that we're like, yeah, I need to tweak that a little bit. New beginnings for us, for things in our life. Maybe we're starting over in certain aspects. And this usually also has stuff to do with personality. Maybe, like me, you found you're censoring part of your personality, or you're not allowing your true personality to be seen fully. And so maybe it's time that you allow it to be. So that's the full moon in Aries, things that you should look out for, things that you might see happening, things that you might want to be working on and addressing. So any work that you do under the full moon usually can take up to a full moon cycle to come to fruition. So that's when it starts really coming together for you and starting to happen. So what are some of the things that people do during the full moon? Well, some people like to do protection and banishing work. Other people like to do cleansing. Some people are seeking out knowledge and higher learning during the full moon because it's at its peak. So like any spiritual knowledge and divination is amazing at this time. During the full moon, if you read oracle cards, tarot cards, any kind of divinatory tool you use, pendulums, what have you, you will find that this is a great time to do that you're going to get more from it. So I highly suggest picking up your divination tools during this time and giving them a go and seeing what you get. This is also a great time for dreams. Now, in my opinion, dream work is really great during this time as well. You might find you're having like crazy dreams or more vivid dreams than usual. Maybe you're feeling like having prophetic dreams. The reason I believe in this, especially this month, because October, the veil between the world of the living and the dead is at its thinnest. And so we're more likely to recognize communication from our spirit family, from our spirit team, our higher self, our angels, God, whatever you want to call this divine energy. Like I said, it's thinner now. We're going to get more communication from them. And a lot of times we are more receptive to their message and to what they have to say during dream time, because when we're awake, we've got monkey mind. We've got a million things going through our head. We might not be able to hear or understand or see the signs that they're giving us. So during dream time, we're more receptive, we're open, and we're more likely to get messages. And like I said, through the dreams, they come, and you might have, like, again, prophetic dreams, maybe get a message from your team, something you need to work on, something you need to address, what's coming up for you, something like that. So pay attention to your dreams. I usually start noticing my dreams changing about a week before the full moon into maybe a day or two after the full moon. That's when they seem to be really heightened for me personally. Again, As with any spiritual work, just because it's a certain way for me does not mean it will be for you. I'm just kind of giving you general, I'm sharing my experiences and maybe they'll help you. Okay, so let's see. During the full moon, a lot of people enjoy engaging in ritual, and that looks different for everybody. Everybody has a different tradition that they follow, a different path that they follow, so it's going to look different to them. Some people just want to light a candle and an incense and call it a day, and that's fine. Other people want to go into a full-on full moon ritual, going in, calling in deities and what have you, and that's fine too. Myself, I tend to like to keep it a little more simple because I find if it's more simple, I'm more apt to follow through and do it every single month. Whereas if you make something super elaborate and involved, and sometimes it becomes a chore, and you don't want anything that you're doing for spiritual reasons to be a chore. You want it to be enjoyable. You want it to be realistic that you're going to be able to do this every month. And sometimes simple is best. So I personally will pull out the big guns and do all this elaborate stuff once in a while. There are certain things that I believe call for that, but it's not something I'm doing regularly for everyday work because again, okay, so I was going to say maybe I'm just lazy, but honestly, I'm really busy most of the time, and I'm sure you are too, between work and kids and you know, family obligations and extracurricular activities and businesses and all this stuff, working with my clients and working on myself. I don't always have a lot of time. And so if it's something super involved and super elaborate, I might not be able to make the time to take 3-4 hours to get this whole ritual done. But if I can get it done in 30 minutes, an hour, then I'm more likely to get it done. And if it takes less materials to have on hand, again, I'm more likely to do it because I don't have to worry about scrambling and having this big laundry list of items that I need available for my rituals. So one thing that I enjoy doing is a ritual bath on the full moon. And that, again, you can add some salts to your bath. You can add herbs, especially if you're working on a specific intention. You might want to add herbs and oils that would enhance that and support the work that you're trying to do. For me, a ritual bath is just a time that I'm taking my bath, I'm cleansing. It's kind of like a little bit of a meditation where I'm getting my mind ready for the work at hand. I'm putting out all that monkey business, all that monkey mind, all that, oh, I got to do this and I should have done this and what's coming up next, what are we doing tomorrow, you know, all that busyness in my brain. I'm pushing it out and I am just focusing on, you know, getting myself, my chakras aligned, getting myself feeling grounded and centered, and so that when I come out of that bath, I am ready to do the work that I'm going to do. And whether that be a candle working, whether that just be connecting with my spirit team, whether that's doing anything really. So there's so much different works you can do during the full moon. Some people like to do banishing and protection work. Maybe you want to do work for love or for money. Maybe you have a legal undertaking that's going on and you want to work on that. Maybe you need to be more motivated. Maybe you want to work on some self-improvement. Maybe you're thinking, you know what, I need to get my act together and do XYZ. Maybe you want to work on health or healing or whatever it is, family, children. This is a great time to do. During the full moon, you can work pretty much on anything. It's a wonderful time to charge and cleanse your spiritual tools. So for instance, if you use crystals a lot, you might want to take your crystals and put them out where they're going to get exposure to a lot of that full moon light and charge it with the full moon energy. You might want to make full moon water, which is an amazing thing. We can do a video on that another time, making full moon water, what its uses are. It's just really a great time to work on yourself and work on your spirituality and your tradition. No matter what tradition you follow, no matter what your path is, what your spiritual beliefs are, just taking the time to sit down and connect with that heightened full moon energy and honoring yourself, honoring the divine within yourself, making sure you maybe you just do some kind of self-care ritual. That's perfect during the full moon as well. The full moon, again, is just a great time to take care of you, especially this full moon in Aries. Taking care of matters of the self. So making sure I'm cared for, making sure I've done my self-care routines, and I'm making sure I'm healthy in all aspects, mental, physical, spiritual, socially, financially, everything. Making sure you're taken care of. Seeing what's new coming down the pipeline for me that I might be starting with. There's just really so much going on during the full moon that it's hard to get it all out there because there's just so much to do. So again, just like anything else that I tell you in spirituality, you can make this as simple or as elaborate as you want. Again, I tend to make it a little more simple, so I make sure I follow through with it. If you make magical oils, you might want to take your magical oils and put them out under the full moon. Again, charge them with that full moon energy. It's going to really bump them up and give them, just make them that much more powerful, that much stronger. The full moon is a great time to do divination of any kind. I think I already said that. So if you have, whether it be runes, pendulums, however you divine, scrying, take advantage of that during this full moon. Really put this full moon to work for you. I guarantee you, when you do work under the full moon, you always see results. And it usually doesn't take too long. Usually maybe a moon cycle, as I said before. So take a few minutes and kind of figure out what you want to accomplish this full moon coming up this Sunday, October 13th. And put it all together. What do you want to do? Do you want to take a ritual bath? Do you want to light a candle? Do you want to do whatever it is that you want to do? Just get your thoughts in order of what exactly it is that you want to happen, what you want to bring in, or what you want to release. And once you have that all squared away, then you can go ahead and work that on the full moon. So again, if you have any questions about full moon, about any spiritual topics that you want to see me cover here, feel free to comment below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you get notifications when I have new videos. And I will see you next time. I'm wishing you herbal blessings and good health.